Hey guys, this is Goggling Freak here. I'm here to give you another fan fiction reading today. This one I've read in recently when I was 14, but this was published in 2001. This is Rika and Renamon Termination by Gabriel Sam. Basically, in this one, Rika and Renamon are in a relationship. Uh, they're in a relationship. Rika's mom is starting to figure out who it is or who Rika's starting. Rika's mother is starting to find clues around the house, and after a while, she figures out. Well, she figures out that she's in a relationship, but then later on finds out that it's Renamon, and Rika's mom, I believe, takes Rika away to an institution, and then takes Renamon to be deleted. That was the last chapter I read. Turns out there are 3 chapters. I just didn't read the 3rd one. I skimmed through the 3rd one, sort of, in my moment of tiredness, but I have a feeling that it's going to have a very interesting and happy ending. If not, I'm going to be annoyed. But I'm just going to read the first chapter of this story. It's called, again, Rika and Renamon Termination by Gabriel San. Another typical Saturday at the Nanaka house. Mimiko, or not good with Japanese words. Mikino, Rika's mother, was up and out, heading for a photo shoot. Rika's grandmother was bustling about the kitchen, fixing breakfast with a quite cheerful disposition. Rika herself was asleep on her sleeping mat, snuggling warmly beside her lover, Renamon. Renamon kept an arm wrapped around Rika's waist and had her tail twined warmly around Rika's bare legs, ensuring that her love would never have to feel the chill of the night. Ah, it's cute. Lucky. Well, lucky that she has that fox in her life, and I'm also lucky for other reasons. Anyway, as it usually happened, they would both curl. Oh, they were both curled up in more or less a fetal position. Renamon because the curling came naturally to foxes. That's true, along with dogs and cats and other animals. And I think bears too, but anyway. And Rika because she followed where Renamon led when she was asleep. The warm fur was practically swallowing Rika. Almost every part of her body rubbed by soft, sweetly scented fur. The intoxicating scent of sakura and sweet blossoms continually rose to Rika's nose, wafting past like perfume on the wind. That was what she woke to this morning. For some reason, her grandmother hadn't yet bust in, which meant Renamon could stay in her usual sleep position. Parents and grandparents busting in at the worst unexpected. Wait, damn it! They just sometimes do it at the worst possible time. It's happened. Well, I don't really have anyone that sleeps in my bed. Well, yeah, I don't really have anyone who sleeps in my bed. For some annoying reason, my mom would sometimes bust into the door. My mom would just bust into my room after knocking, of course, or just bust in because she's the parent. But it is very annoying when that happens. Like, do you mind? But yeah, basically it's annoying. For Rika, it was heaven. The sweet scent filling her awakening senses, mixing with the full body warmth and her sense of contentment into pure bliss. I love Saturdays, she whispered with a smile. It doesn't get any better than this. You've got that right, heartbreaker, Renamon murmured, adding a soft chuckle. She lightly licked around the damn it. She lightly licked around the edge of Rika's ear, breathing lightly into it. How did you sleep? She asked, even though she knew what the answer would be. As always, Renamon, it was heaven. She breathed a soft gasp emerging from her lips after she spoke. Are you sure you should do that? My grandmother could come in at any moment. In any minute. Damn it. Come in at any minute. I'm not doing anything. It's too lazy a morning to do all that tumbling around. Let's just lay here and enjoy it. Saturdays like that. I've had them all the time. Rika's hands were... Not Rika's hands. Renamon's hands slowly stroked over Rika's bare belly, caressing the silky skin with her bare fur. Rika shivered, a soft sigh emerging from her mouth. She snuggled herself more firmly against Renamon, so content she felt she could stay like this forever. Shiteru? I don't know what that means. Shiteru, Rika began. Rika! Time to get up! Breakfast is ready! Sorry if I can't do Rika's grandmother's voice very well. Rika! Time to get up! Breakfast is ready! Renamon vanished the instant the first syllable was in the air, leaving Rika pressed against empty air and suddenly surrounded by chill air. Way to go, Rika's grandmother. Jeez. Well, I guess it could have been worse. She quickly wrapped herself in a blanket to hide her naked body, and before I continue with that statement, how can people sleep without any clothes on? I mean, I've tried it. It's interesting, but it's not. Well, then again, I guess it's just one of those things. I mean, I slept in my underwear under the covers when I was a teenager. Well, that was because, I generate a lot of heat, that's why. But anyway, she quickly wrapped herself in a blanket to hide her naked body and to reduce the chill. The Renamon scent was fading rapidly, vanishing into the swiftly moving air she was creating. By the time her grandmother had opened the door and stepped inside, she looked like she had just woken up from a normal night of sleep. Rika, did you say something before I came in? No, Grandma, I didn't say anything. She kept her head down and her tone normal, but the look on her face was just a shade beyond annoyed. It's strange. Sometimes when I'm around, I get the feeling that there's someone else in the room. But of course, that's just silly. I mean, it's not like you'd have a boy in here or anything. Yeah, a boy. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Not a boy, but a genderless... yeah, not a boy, but a genderless Digimon from another world. Just stating the facts. If you guys remember from that one episode when Renamon was talking to Rika's mom about if she was a male or a female, and they were saying technically Digimon don't have genders. That means they're kind of does that mean they're non-binary in a way? Kind of like how it is with the crystal gems. Like, they don't, they are, yeah, it's just kind of like how it is with the crystal gems, except for Steven. They basically don't have any genders. They just kind of choose to be, I guess, guy or girl. But most of the gems are female. They go by like female syllables and all that stuff, pronunciations. And I guess with Renamon, because of her voice and the obvious, well, with her voice and all the art, she's really considered female. Anyway, yeah. Just lost it. Okay. Rika smiled a little, seeing an opening and taking it. Trust me, Grandma. There have not been, nor ever will be boys in this room. I promise. Well, that's very responsible of you. Well, that's very responsible of you. Come get your breakfast. Just because it's Saturday doesn't mean you can get away with not eating. As she walked away, she was muttering to herself, "That girl's better than her mother at least. Knows not to have boys in her room. Jeez. Wish Mikino, I keep saying that wrong. Wish Mikino could have been the same way. That girl loved boys too much." That's a bit of a problem if she's liking boys a little bit too much, especially when she was younger. And I don't know if she's like that now, but eh. Very smooth. Very smooth, Rika commented after Rika's... I keep saying the wrong name. Very smooth, Renamon commented after Rika's grandmother had gone far enough away to prevent her from hearing anything. Man, people are just... And very honest, Rika said, standing up and stretching a little bit. Renamon wrapped her tail around Rika's midsection to keep her belly and chest warm while the girl went around to get herself dressed. I'll never have some disgusting human boy in here unless he forces his way in. Ironically, that was something I said a while ago. Well, not the human boy part, but I'll never let some disgusting human near me when I was like a teenager or something. I still kind of think of that, but if you guys know how people are, you'll understand. But yeah, basically, I'll never let have some disgusting human boy in here unless he forces his way in. You're all I need, Renamon. Ah. Rika slipped her broken heart shirt onto her and shivered as Renamon's tail slid down to her body to wrap around her hips. Ah, she's keeping her warm while she's getting dressed. Renamon. Such a sweetheart. Where was it? She gave another little shiver after she slipped on her underwear and pants as Renamon's tail slipped down away from her body. Rika gave her girlfriend a quick hug and left to get breakfast before her grandmother came back to remind her again. Later that day, Rika and Renamon were sitting outside of Rika's room, snuggling against each other and quietly talking. I wonder, Rika mused aloud. Wonder what, heartbreaker? Renamon looked deeply into Rika's eyes. Oh man. To Rika's eyes, because Rika was usually more inclined to reveal things when Rika did that. Oh, like looking at her eyes and being like so, having this look to where it's like, can you please tell me? And it's like, no, and then they give you that look. It's like, oh, fine, I'll tell you. I wonder how my family would react to this. Rika closed her eyes and softly blushed, and a soft blush covered her cheeks. I mean, you're the biggest, most important part of my life. I love to tell the world, but I think my mother and grandmother should be first. I can't imagine something more essential. Oh, I can't imagine something more essential for them to know how I feel about you. Renamon, oh, before I do that, I was going to say, crap, I lost it. Never mind. Renamon cupped Rika's face in her hands and stroked her cheeks tenderly. Aww. If you ever decide to tell, I'd be right. If you ever decided to tell, I'd be right there with you, and would proudly introduce myself as your love, and say that you are my world. Ah! I'm always willing, Heartbreaker. I love you. Ah, so adorable. Ah, I forgot how adorable this was, and I just dropped something. Oh, that was my MP3 player. What time do I have left to it? Good thing it's daylight savings time. Time's going slow. I lost my place. Damn it! Oh wait. Hang on. Okay. Rika Renamon vanished as. Darn it! You ruined the moment, whoever you are. Renamon vanished as soon as she heard the voice, and Rika straightened up, always falling forward when Renamon disappeared. Darn it! Whoever that was, I shouldn't say it. Darn it! Whoever ruined the moment, I'm gonna beat them over the head with an orange. Rika's mother, of course. Rika's mother appeared from around the corner, looking somewhat concerned. Who's out here with you? I don't really remember how to do her voice. Well, I know how to do her voice because Rika's mother's voice is the voice of Sarah Elizabeth McGlynn, but I can't do her voice. Who's out here with you? She looked around quickly, eyes seeking any sight of another person. No one is here with me, Mother. Just ask Grandma. No one but me has been in this house today. Rika asked calmly and confidently, certain she. My bed was so hot. Yes, that. Rika sat calmly and confidently, certain she would just explain away anything. Certain she would just explain away anything. Oh, like, explain like what was going on. Sure, she'd tell her family, but not at that moment, and certainly not her mother alone. Makes sense. Like, if you're trying to explain something, or if you're trying to express that you have love for this individual, and you want your parents to know, and you're too nervous to tell them, that can mean a whole bunch. And I mean, it can make anyone nervous. I'm just gonna lay it down with you guys. It kind of happened to me in a way when I told them about this person. Well, I didn't tell them, but I didn't tell them per se, but I was young and I didn't really know how to express it without feeling judged or anything. And I thought certain members of family would understand. After someone I knew explained it to them, it all went downhill. And basically, I had to try to fix it. And basically, damn it. And basically, in order for me to get out of this situation and not make it worse, not just for me, but also for this other person I was in love with, I had to call it off. And in a way, I did feel good for saying it, but in a way, I couldn't really say I broke this certain promise I told them I would keep, and I told this and this. So basically, I kind of minced words in a way I was kind of thinking, and I was telling this person who I cared about really much and had a relationship with, I told them, I've been thinking, why don't we just stay friends so your family doesn't get mad? And I thought things would go really bad from there. And I'm just so happy that she understood and not a lot of things happen on her end. Unfortunately, because of what I said, I think, wait, what happened? Because of what happened, my laptop was taken away from me for like a week. It was stupid. Either that or some other reason, I don't really remember, but basically, when it comes to situations like that, you have to find the right moment to tell certain people. And with me, that wasn't really the best moment. And turns out they weren't really happy about that. And since then, I've been kind of iffy about telling my family certain things. I can tell them certain things like in what they know, but what they don't know, I can't really say. And in a way, I kind of am in, well, I don't know. And what time is it? Okay. So basically, in a way, I can't really explain, well, not really explain, but how can I put it into words? Well, basically what happened, it didn't really turn out so good. At the same time, I'm happy that my friend now didn't get in trouble because of what I thought they would understand, and they didn't really understand. So as a result, I just cut it short. And I didn't mean cut it short, but basically I told them like we could be friends, and I'm just really happy they understood. And she didn't get in trouble. I got in trouble and didn't really have my laptop for like a week or something. I don't really, yeah. She took my laptop, my certain family member or whoever took my laptop from me for like the rest of the week. And it was stupid. And I guess in a way, like since then, I haven't really told them about certain things or certain emotions that I feel. And what was it? And a few other things too. Luckily, with a whole bunch of stuff that was going on, I don't really know if they remember or not. And it really didn't help when certain individuals kept bringing up I can't speak today. And it didn't help when certain individuals kept bringing it up. Well, not kept bringing it up, but when they brought it up and everything, that it's like, really, after all this stuff, you're just going to bring this up? Good. Awesome. Appreciate it. Shows me where you are and how you think of certain things. But yeah, you have to have perfect timing in everything when it comes to that certain situation. Luckily, I'm in another, in a way, how can I say this? Ow. In a way, I kind of am in another relationship. But they don't really know. I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's like, I am, but I'm not. Well, I guess you say it's kind of like a friend-based relationship in a way. Anyway, I only have a couple minutes left. I'll explain more of it, but back to the fanfic. But I'm sure I heard someone talking to you. It sounded like a girl. Oh no. She didn't say anything else, watching Rika's expression carefully. Rika's expression never budged an inch. Yeah, when it comes to situations like that, you have to make sure not to show a lot of facial expressions. Because with family, they basically know how you are sometimes, and the same with friends. It's like you have to make sure not to give too much away, or else you're screwed. You must have been mistaken. There's no one here, and no one has been here. And no one has been here. Rika kept her eyes on her mother's, not blinking nor looking away. It was a look It was a look that she practiced well, and a look she'd given several times. No sense being unprepared in such a situation. She does make, this story does make a point. Well, in certain situations anyway, like especially with people and everything, you can't really break that barrier. I mean, there are people who can break through that barrier if they know you really well. But those who don't really know you. And if they see something out of the ordinary, out of your expression, they're going to figure it out. Luckily with me, not a lot of people know. Well, except for a few people, but that's usually really far in between. Luckily with like putting up basically a fake front and not really being that expressive, I'm able to like say certain things. Like I'm able to, like if someone asks like, "Are you okay? You seem like something's off," and I'm just saying, "I'm fine. I'm just a bit tired and stuff," and not really want to go into that much detail unless it was necessary. But yeah, but that's like, you have to like take a while. It's like I shouldn't say years, but like have to, okay, might as well say you have to have a good amount of time or years to have an expression to have an expression where no one will be able to know what you're actually thinking or feeling. That's what I had to do, and a few others. I even sometimes use it on my friends when I don't really want to express certain things that are bugging me, along with family. Mostly family, but you know what I mean. Okay, Rika's mother studied the unmoving face of her daughter presented and searched for one crack in the facade, but there was nothing. "Sorry I bothered you." She turned away and started to walk, but took a quick look back at Rika. Nothing had moved, so she walked away for real, shaking her head as she entered the house. I know I heard something. It was a girl, and she said, "I love you" to my little girl. Something's going on here, and I intend to find out what's going on. Meanwhile, she's like the snooping person. Meanwhile, Rika sat determined and unmoving until Rika softly ran her arms over Rika's arm. What? Ran her hands over Rika's arms. It's okay. She's gone. Sometimes I can't stand her. I thought you said you were going to tell your family about us. I will, but not her first. That would just ruin my life. I think Grandma is mature and open enough to understand. Makes a valid point. I mean, she was really, really understanding, especially when she saw Renamon for the first time. Most people would be freaked out, but I'm guessing like she's Rika's grandmother because of her age. She's like, I've seen a whole bunch of shit in my life, and this is surprising, but it's probably not that surprising. You know, with age, a lot of stuff is not surprising. I should start getting ready. Okay, crap, I forgot. Oh. I think Grandma is more mature and open enough to understand. Renamon embraced Rika tightly. Just tell me when and where, and I'll be there, heartbreaker. You can count on me. You can count on it. I'm just gonna leave. Yeah. Let's see. Monday, school day. Rika sat in class, disinterested and staring out the window. She didn't care if the teacher saw her. She already knew what was being taught. Times like these flooded her mind with thoughts of Renamon, who was who was infinitely more interesting than school. Yeah, that is true. And a lot more friendly. True again. Suddenly, a small note onto her desk. Dropped onto her desk, startling her out of her daydreams. It was a plain piece of paper. It was a plain piece of notebook paper, certainly folded into a heart and then torn slightly on the indented point of that. The familiar handwriting on it said, "Heartbreaker." Renamon looked around quickly with a bit of a smile before unfolding the note and reading it. "Dearest Heartbreaker, you look so bored there, like it's all old news to you. What are you thinking of? Maybe me, not that. Maybe me? I certainly hope so, as egocentrical as that sounds." Oh, Renamon, we can't stay mad at you. I'm always thinking about you, my life, my sweetness, forever yours, Rena. Ah, so cute! Ah. A tiny heart rested beside the signature. Ah, as well as two linked female symbols. Ah. Internally dying of cuteness overload. Another note dropped as soon as Rika finished reading the first. This one said, "P.S. If you want to write back, just write up the note and toss it up. I'll catch it. Rena." Smart. Again, the heart. I think I'm going to stop it here for right now. I'm going to get back to. I gotta get going. Damn it! I gotta get going. Actually, I'll read more of this story later when I have some more time, and because finals and all this other stuff. But I am, in other news, I am kind of feeling a whole bunch better compared to how it was probably a year ago or a couple months ago. Between a couple months to a year ago, I'm starting to emotionally feel better from what I was telling you guys, or something, compared to when I did the update, basically. I mean, there are some things I'm kind of still struggling with, like with anger especially, and bitterness from basically from the years I've been basically mistreated and no one really listened, and basically, I guess you could say, assaulted. Okay, maybe not assaulted, but verbally assaulted, that's the word. That I guess after leaving certain things, it left me, in a way you could say, slightly, I'm feeling better now. In a way, it left me one year, like, very, basically, in a way, depressed. Well, not depressed, but I felt like my entire body was like made of lead, and even though I had a good night's sleep, I still felt like I was heavy in my entire body, and it wasn't really that fun and everything. And I think that was the year I left those guys. Oh, yeah, that was like the year I just left those guys. No, not the year. It was the year that things were getting worse in that situation. I'm not going to go into that much detail, but that was when things were starting to get we're starting to get worse, and it was starting to affect me. And something happened, and after talking to some people, my friends, my mom, and my very special friend, I left. And then afterwards, it left me in this way, a really sad state, and basically it left me angry, it left me anxious, it left me really, really sad, and things were it wasn't really going well. And I thought things were starting to look up one year, then basically shit started hitting the fan, excuse my language. And I just began to get angry and angry and anxious, mostly angry. And the anger kind of outweighed the anxiety, but still was kind of in between. And then basically not 1 year, but okay, yeah, like 1 year ago. 1 year ago, I don't know what was going on, but I was like, I have to do something about this or else I'm going to cause harm to myself. Seriously. I'm not really going to go into detail. I don't even remember what I was about to do, but I just had to do something. And since I decided to finally do something without anyone telling me what I had to do, like basically trying to have control of my life, things were starting to get a little bit better. And they are starting to get better now. I'm better. I'm not sad. I'm not depressed. The things I'm working on now are just, what are they? I'm trying to handle my anxiety again and trying to cope with my anger the way I did before. And it's a bit of a process, but it's something. I'm happier. I'm able to laugh more and be myself a little bit more as well. It's weird. It is weird. It's weird. But I'm just happy about that. Anyway, I should stop ranting about really random stuff, but I'm going to end this here and I'm going to get going because the bus will be here in like 3 minutes. So thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you guys in next